What's up, everybody? I just wanted to come at you guys today and let you know about the situation between Doug Rucker and I have to answer this question a million times, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to make a video about it. That way it's known. So if you clicked on this video to hear me bash Doug, that's not going to happen. I actually love Doug to death, and I've begged him to make up and let's be friends, but he just isn't ready to do that, I guess. But another reason I'm wanting to make this video is because people still think that we're partners, and so they buy equipment from him and then they want to call me for information, and so that's just uncomfortable for me to be in the middle of their situation. Not only that, it's uncomfortable for the people that purchase the equipment, because some of them buy and they expect it to be buying from me so that they can have my help, and it's unfortunate at that point that I'm not part of that deal. So there is a guy behind me. Check this out. Can you see this guy? He's got one of them slingshots or something, and he is jamming out. Anyway, so he's messing my video up. So here's the deal. So Doug and I were partners in Doug Rucker store for about 2 years. But before that, we were actually, we wasn't partners, but I done all of his roofs. Anytime he needed a roof cleaned, he would call me and I would do that for him. So the way I met Doug was he had an event, a UMCC event, and I went to it, and just like everybody, you know, Doug's popular, and I was excited to meet him, and so I did. I told him that I was a roof cleaner, and he actually had just lost his roof cleaner, so he was needing somebody, and so it worked out perfect for him and I. At that point of his career, he wasn't really wanting to hire somebody to do roof cleaning. He wanted to get away from the legality of it.
Use the right lane.
And so it worked out really good for him and I. So I'd done his roofs for about 6 years. Well, we come to the agreement that we'd like to open up a store together, and so that's what we did. I was actually supposed to be a silent partner and not do anything, but as probably a lot of you know now, I'm not a silent partner type of a guy. So I was always pushing on.
Take the exit.
Advertising our product and stuff like that. Well, we wanted to start building some equipment. Well, I'm kind of the gearhead in our relationship, so I'm the one that designed and built the Roof King 12, or the King Slinger, the Gunslinger, every piece of equipment that we built. I'm the one that designed.
Keep left to merge on.
Which some people don't realize, designing and building some of this equipment, just like the 12 volt. Obviously 12 volts have been around for a long time, but when you design it, when you put it in a box and you figure out all the wiring and you try to make it look good, and there's still some design work that goes into that to be able to sell that to a customer and feel confident in it. Just like the air systems, there is some people before that were using some air systems, but designing that this stuff that I put together would work, and then put it on a plate, and then design the plate to where everything fit right, and mount it onto the compressor. There's a lot of time and a lot of
In 6.4.
So when that kind of stuff gets copied, it's pretty aggravating. So the guys that do copy us, it's what aggravates me is they could put it on a different compressor. They could use a different water separator than this Tsunami, but they don't want to do that because they know this works, because I've figured it out for them. If they weren't copying me, if they used a different air pump, and they used a different air compressor, and they used a different water separator, they could make the same thing happen. But they don't want to do that because I've already figured it all out for them. But anyway, let's get off of that. Let's get back to the Doug situation. So Doug and I met. We ended up opening the store together. Doug and I had a great relationship for 7 or 8 years. It was like, or 6 or 7 years. Don't quote me on the exact amount of time, but we had a great relationship for a long time. There was times he would pay me a little more on a roof than what I told him I would do it for. There was roofs that I would do for nothing sometimes, just to show him my appreciation. I mean, we had a perfect relationship. I mean, honestly, if he sees it different, he might. I don't know. We never got into an argument. Everything was just always good. He always done what he said he was going to do. I always done what I said I was going to do, and that's what makes a perfect relationship, in my opinion. So, but what happened was, the store, he decided he wanted to close the store. So I said, well, I don't think we should close it. If we're going to do anything, I think we should sell it, because if we're good, there's a lot of value there that we can't just throw away. And so we agreed, and so that's what we decided to do. Well, about that time, COVID hit, and then and so he decided that he would rather his wife just come to work with him, and then they would just keep the store. So we agreed that he would buy me out. Well, I feel like I told him that was totally fine with me. It didn't bother me a bit. So I sold the store to him for $25,000, which we had about $20,000 worth of inventory, and then we had about I think it was $27,000 in the bank. So for $20,000 or $25,000 that I sold it to him for, in my opinion, was a token. I mean, really, he didn't, but he could have just taken the money right out of that bank account and paid. Half of that money was still mine. So really, I only got $12,000 or so for the business. So I mean, I really feel like I was really nice, which I mean I was. He's been a good friend. We've done a lot of business together. He's always been good. So I mean, it was fine with me. Well, our agreement was that I would sell him the business, but then the equipment that I've designed and built, that I was the only one that built the equipment for the store, that would still be mine. Just like I call it the King's Blender, the Dugginator that he sells, the Proportioner, the thing that we sell. I designed those. I mean, the Proportioner, when it came out, it was beautiful, and it was in a box, and it was expensive. A lot of people didn't want to spend that much money for it, and so I'm the one that designed, or figured out that those valves would work, the Pentair valves, and started selling them that way. Of course, now everyone uses that, but even that, I told Doug, that was fine for Doug to sell. But what I did have my heart and soul in was the Roof King, the King Slinger. We decided that what would happen is he would buy all the parts for those. I would still do all the building, and then I would make a percentage of what we sold them for. So just like always, we had an agreement. We both agreed on it, and so I thought, well, we're golden. Well, right after I gave him the check, like a week
in 2 miles,
he decided that he didn't want to do that anymore. He wanted to build them himself, because he said he could save money. Which, yes, he could save money by building them himself. Obviously, he could hire a flunky and have him build those. Since I've already got them designed and had them all figured out, he could just lay the parts out and have the guy build them, and have a machine shop build the plates. So I understand that, but our agreement was that I was going to build them, and so that really hurt my feelings and really caused an issue. So anyway, I ended up just saying, that's fine. That's fine. Just let me keep doing the roofs. You can sell those. Everything's great. I'll just move on. I'll lose that money, and just to keep things good. Well, I'm always thinking. I'm always trying to make things better. That's just the type of guy that I am. So I ended up figuring out how to make it a Roof King 12, or make it a King Slinger, make it a 12 gallon per minute. So I messaged Doug and I said, hey, I figured out how to make this thing a 12 gallon per minute. So do you want to sell them for me?
Stay in the second lane.
But don't screw me out of it this time. And he was like, no. So I said, well, I mean, it's either you sell them or I can just change the name and sell them myself. He said, well, sell them yourself, I guess, is what he put. And I said, well, I mean, it's totally up to you. So knowing my personality, like some of you guys do, I mean, I had it online for sale in 5 minutes. I mean, that's the way I operate. Everything I do right now. So he got ticked off at me and was ready to kill me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I don't understand. You told me to do it, for one. For two, it's my design anyway, so I don't understand. I sold him the business, but I didn't sell him my design and that one piece of equipment. And we agreed on that. And the reason I know that is because he agreed to pay me to still build them. So that means we both were on the same page. There wasn't a miscommunication there.
Use the right lane to...
That he changed his mind. Well, I mean, you can't just change your mind about these kind of business decisions. So anyway, at the end of the day, I hate it. I have, you know, like I said, even since then, I've told him, I said, hey, if you'll let me clean your roofs again,
take the exit.
I'll stop doing it. I'll stop building them. I'll just let you do them, and that's fine. And I'll let you have it. But he don't want to do that. He don't want to make up, and I don't understand it because I really like Doug. He's never been that way. We've always had a great relationship, so it really doesn't make sense to me.
In 3/4 of a...
And I've begged him to make up, but he just don't want to do it. So I mean, at this point, I don't know what else to do. But obviously, I'm going to keep building and selling my equipment because I mean, with him and I relationship, I've done everything that I know to do. And so anyway, there's the story, and hopefully one day, you know, we can make up and become friends again. I'd love that. I don't like enemies. But the number one thing is
go past this light.
Buying equipment there and then being upset with me because you thought that I was involved in it, and now you're kind of stuck. So you know, just if you can, I mean, obviously,
turn left onto...
anybody you know that is interested in my equipment, if you don't mind, kind of make sure they know and kind of spread the word, because it's been over a year now since I've sold to him, and I'm still having this issue. And so it's just, you know, it just sucks. So anyway, there's a story. You guys have a great day. If you have a question,
turn left into the...
hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be glad to help in any way I can.